Alright everyone, welcome back to a new replay cast. Today we're going to be having a look at PartinG versus Cure. It's a best of 3 with Cure starting with a gas first in the first game. We see PartinG not having a probe on the map yet, which for many other players might be very normal, but for PartinG that is a little bit odd, as he is known of course for proxying stuff. Proxying his first or his second gateway, but not this time around. He's just going to be scouting around. As we see the gas first opener, meaning we're only going to be seeing a Reaper before the reactor and a quicker factory than we usually see. Oh, this might actually be a second gas as well. This is a very, very fast SCV scout. So this could be a couple of things. This could be with a second gas. This could be of a single gas and that it's played with a Marine first. You can immediately build the factory in that case the moment the barracks finishes. I think that's actually what it's going to be. This is such a common location. I think it was used first by Maru in the round of 32 of this GSL, I want to say. And exactly on this map, in this location as well. So it's a very common location. Now, for PartinG it's going to be important to see that there's not a quick command center. So a good way to tell what's going on is that usually this command center goes down at 140. This time it is going to be going down... Well, not at 140, that's for sure. He might pretend that he wants to build it, and then once his probe goes away, he moves back in here. Now, but PartinG scouts, he sees 150, no command center yet. He should know something is up. Marine first is a big tell, and he's saying something. I think he's saying, why don't you have your command center there? That makes absolutely no sense, mate. And Cure responds with, haha, yes. That does make no sense. And see, PartinG goes to the almost the right spot immediately. I'm surprised he doesn't scout here. Like, this is such a common location. We're going to be seeing a 3 Hellion save up into most likely, or 3 Hellion save up into 1 mine walking into the natural most likely. It's a very common build. There are 2 batteries at the front. Not sure what PartinG is afraid of. It might be some kind of proxy marauder play. That's why he's getting 2 batteries over here. Now the real threat, of course, is coming from the right side. Oh, I'm not quite feeling this for PartinG. 3 Marines are walking across the map. No. We have more talking here by PartinG, who is angry that he can't find the proxy with PartinG. Ay. Should be looking over here, my friend. You should be looking over here. Second Hellion does finish up. Third Hellion is on the way now. As well as the medevac. PartinG, less focus on talking, more focus on trying to figure out exactly what's gonna happen here. The moment these 3 Hellions actually get into the main base and these Stalkers are out of position, they can one-shot probes, they will one-shot probes, and you can lose a couple of workers with this because the CC is so extremely delayed, but can't lose too many. Here we go, that mine, like I predicted, will be used for walking into the natural later on. Here comes the 3 Hellion drop, 2 Stalkers are out of position, will be going into the main base, and I don't really see a way for PartinG to defend this. If he's not in position, if he's taken, he's already lost 8 workers, he's gonna lose 15 workers here. Easily lose 15 workers. There's still 5 Marines coming in the front as well. 17 workers go down. Yeah, GG. Cure wins the fastest game that I have casted so far on this channel. So let's hope into game 2 real fast. Let's hope that's something better. Alright, here we are with game number 2 between Cure and PartinG. PartinG in the bottom right once again will be going for a wall most likely. It is an interesting wall that I haven't seen before. I guess he builds a gateway here and a cyber core over here. The one that I've seen that I find a little more common is where you build the pylon over here, then gate here, cyber core here. I haven't seen this one. I wonder what the advantage and disadvantages are. Seems pretty solid, honestly. Does look nice as well. Reaper can still jump up here, but won't be able to go in any further, most likely. PartinG scouting around behind his natural, does not want to be caught out of position by any kind of barracks play over there. This time we do see Cure opening up a little more standard, as he's just opening up with a barracks before gas. And most likely will just be opening up with a Reaper as well. Now it is Nightshade, so opening up with a Marine is a little more common, because you do have this big ramp that helps you defend anything coming up. On some maps, if you open Marine and you don't get a bunker, well, on most maps you just kind of die. On Nightshade it is sometimes possible to hold, but Still, a bunker is a safety play, and PartinG has extremely good gateway unit micro. In the early game, in the early stages of the game, is when PartinG is the most dangerous. And we do see a core coming down before that nexus, probe moving down towards the nexus area now to get that nexus down as well. We're going to be seeing the second piling thrown down at 21 here by PartinG. Looks fine for now. He's a little bit late with it. So his first adept is going to start about 2 seconds late. I believe it started at 44, that pylon. Ideally, you start your first adept at 2 minutes exactly. Every second matters when you play core first, because you might be able to get a delay on this command center if you're very quick. With that chrono boost, of course. I think it was 202 where this adept started. Warp gate on the way as well. And it is a marine first, so yeah, Cure. I think this really is only possible on this map, the way that Cure is doing it now. Just because of that ramp makes it a little bit easier. PartinG actually hasn't seen that it's a marine first, so right now he's keeping the adept at home, at least temporarily. No, he's just gonna move out. I think he'll cancel this shade. No, he moves out, wow. No chrono boost on the second unit. If the Reaper was hiding over here for a bit and then goes in at this point, that could have been really bad for PartinG. But PartinG, taking a little bit of a risk, decides to move out immediately. We see the first 3 Marines routes should be walking towards this ramp ASAP. Will be a little late, might be able to push this adept back. And now you can kind of keep this ramp for a while. With those 2 Marines, is it going to be a car first? Yes. Okay, we see the car first, so... Oh! Cancel straight into Tech Lab. Huh. This is a little risky. If the first 2 units would make its way across the map, I actually think Cure might have been in a little bit of trouble. I mean, there isn't too much here that can deal with an adept and a stalker, or even an adept and 2 stalkers, but PartinG is keeping his stalker at home, and that's gonna allow Cure to really rush out this, I assume is going to be a Banshee, honestly. With another Tech Lab being built, it's either gonna be Banshee tank or Raven tank. There's a lot of gas over here. 2 gas have been taken quickly. Still no bunker, which at this point there's not going to be one. And we see Cloak being researched. So indeed is going to be that Cloak Banshee with tanks. We might even see a little bit of a push out. Curious to see how PartinG will deal with this, as his adept is still scouting for it. Trying to figure out what is happening on Cure's side of the map, and also forcing him to constantly be lifting these depots. Probe will move down here. Could either build a pylon or will just be used for body spotting. No, we'll build a pylon there. So what this pylon does allow, it allows PartinG to position all of his units into his natural, as he has vision of the complete bottom side of the map. So a medevac would not be able to fly there. Usually you're afraid of like a mine drop. And if you would have to position your units over here, imagine the mine drop comes in, you'll be able to shoot once and then pick up the mines again, because you don't quite have blink yet. Blink will finish at 440 here. First Banshee is moving out for Cure as well. We saw a 2-gate third base for PartinG with 3 gas before getting the third. And a robotics facility is also playing it very safe. Hallucination will be able to spot out exactly what's happening. And we'll see the Cloak Banshee in combination with the tank, so he will be preparing most likely for some kind of tank push. Where are the observers? One observer over here. We'll move back to the natural. Is there an observer yet in the main base? No, there's not. Banshee will be moving towards the third. Immediately takes a little bit of damage. Where's the observer? It's coming out now. So a single worker goes down in exchange for a bunch of damage on that Banshee. Continuous warpins here by PartinG, who decides to get a 3rd gate. He does have a forge, he's not deciding to use it. We'll be moving forward with the stalkers to try and catch some damage. Banshee is doing some damage in the meanwhile as well. PartinG moving back, has 1 or 2 Marines here. Adept from the back trying to do some damage as well. A lot of Marines have gone down already, but I don't think that's going to be quite enough. This Banshee managed to get a couple of kills. A lot of Marines have fallen out. 2 batteries are basically done. Immortals on the way. Banshee could be moving to the main base at this point, but instead will die. There's a battery in the main base, of course. There's a battery in the natural. No, there's not. Is there an observer in the natural? No, there's no observer there either. 3rd Banshee potentially could be going there if there's a 3rd Banshee on the way. Doesn't look like it for now. 2 tanks are shelling away at these workers. Low worker count for PartinG, so even if he's going to be holding this, I am not quite sure if that is going to be enough Third tank does manage to join up, which is a bit painful. Immortals moving forward very rapidly, will start targeting down the tank. A decent blink forward here by PartinG, who gets all 3 tanks. So that kind of removes the threat here, but then we look at the state of the game and we see, well, it's nice that you managed to survive PartinG, and it's cool that you'll be able to kill those bunkers and these units, but 46 workers against 51, no upgrade on the way yet. There is a good worker or a good unit count here for PartinG with 2 immortals. That is of course going to be quite nice. One immortal does end up falling. Poor Micro is not pulling back his immortal. Will decide to pull this one back. One more stalker might die. No, a couple of SCVs are falling. There's still 1 bunker remaining. There's a Banshee remaining. 4 workers have gone down in total now. 2 eBays are done for Cure, as a couple of workers doing absolutely nothing. And this is a nice cleanup by PartinG, who now gets the ability to counterattack, gets a prism, 3 more stalkers. He does have 2 immortals once again, so put those 2 in a prism and you have something special. No observer here, that's a rookie mistake. There is a battery in both bases, so the battery in the main will be able to hold out for a little bit. How many observers do we have? We have 1 observer here with the army. Next observer could be built here, I assume. These workers could be pulled towards the battery and should be fine. You really should pull them away. Can't really afford to lose too many more. So yeah, I like this response a lot by PartinG. You know, he keeps rallying into this Banshee. Banshee with 4 kills. Good blink forward that I completely missed. This might actually... will it be it? There's no prism here yet to reinforce if we jump into the main base. Immortals going kind of hard on these Marauders. The tanks have all gone down. There is a Raven here. We'll be able to throw down a missile turret. Immortals being microed backwards together with Blink are doing quite some damage here. A couple more units being warped in. How many gates do we have for PartinG? We have 6 gates. There's no charge yet. With charge here, I think he might just be able to kill his opponent. Now, there's still the ability to SCV pull here for Cure, but there's no stim yet. There's no combat shield. We're gonna have to see some very good micro by him. Or some very poor micro by PartinG. Where's that prism? Prism is very far back. Not a massive fan of that. Would love to see there. 19 workers are going down. Charge has started, +1 has started, 26 workers have gone down. Banshee does get cleaned up on the other side finally as well. Stim finishes up, so we'll be able to clear a lot of PartinG's army here. Well, this is looking kind of okay, honestly. Does get a blink forward, and I think this will be a pretty decent sweep here by PartinG, who is up in army supply, up in economy. The only thing he's going to be behind in is indeed in upgrades. We have 3 mules working away at the 3rd base, but PartinG is going to be able to kill those as well. 4th base on the way for PartinG, who feels extremely confident at this point. 2 extra gates on the way. I mean, PartinG could probably just kill his opponent. 1 charge finishes. There's no combat shield yet. 1-1 will be done soon. Cure doesn't even have any medevacs yet. He doesn't have a reactor on the starport. 3rd CC needs to go back up. Oh, it's bad blink at PartinG. Does manage to get the tank. Might be in preparation of that next push, which is going to be happening now. There's a lot of units coming in. Combat shield finishes in 3 seconds. Cure is moving forward. 1 more tank is about to finish up. There's not actually that many zealots in this army. PartinG does need to be careful. We see a big SCV pool. A lot of zealots will fall here immediately. 1-1 is done, of course. Oh, this is a bad fight for PartinG. I'm not quite sure why he's trying to fight here at this point. And Cure's this is the saddest looking SCV pool I've seen in my life, honestly. I can't imagine he continues with this. I think Cure isn't quite sure if he wants to continue with this either, but sure does look like it. I mean, there's just too much for PartinG, right? Army supply is already equal at this point. He still can win time with these stalkers. 2 medevacs only. There's gonna be so much picked up before Cure even arrives to the other side of the map. PartinG's gonna be up 20-30 army supply. It's just gonna be a clean A move here out of PartinG. I don't think there's very much Cure can do here, honestly. I mean, decent setup out of PartinG as well. It's on 63 army supply, or 67 army supply against the 52. There's only 2 medevacs, so there's only 1 medevac. One of them fell. Workers start going down, and this is just absolutely going to be it. Zealots and stalkers outnumbering those Marines. GG gets called as PartinG ties up the series 1-1. Alright, fellas and female fellas, welcome back to another game between PartinG and Cure in the 3rd game here. After Parting managed to tie up that series, we now will be looking at the main base of Cure, who's following a similar approach to last game with that barracks before gas. And Parting heading for a Reaper wall over here. I think in the GSL, I believe it was Parting who showed it first, that you could do a very interesting full wall on this ramp, or on this area. I can't quite remember how it works. I think he built a pylon here and then something here, and he had the gate here. And it absolutely denied all the scouting out of the Terran. It was beautiful to watch. They can even take the back base, which Parting is already planning on doing, so that's cool to see. You have an SCV scout on the way here. Oh, what is this? What the hell? Is it gonna be Proxy Tempest? No, it can't be. The pylon would be too late. And you'd go through the front, I assume. So there's a hole right now over here. I am not quite sure. This could be DTs though. Could it be? I mean, we see Stalker being built and Cure spots the pylon. Okay, that's kind of a big deal. So now he knows it's not going to be a proxy Stargate. Instead, we'll be able to scout the start though. Parting decides, no, I don't want to show you what I want to build. Alright, Parting. Very fast Stalker out here as well. Attack will be going down now, not before the Nexus goes down though, on that natural base. Is Cure aware that these minerals are gone? Yes, he is. So, I mean, Cure basically is in complete control here. Started once again with a Marine. Getting a factory behind it. I'd love to see a heli in here, honestly, just for scouting purposes. Or, I'd actually would love to see these two being mined. So, you can attack over here onto that third base. Now we see an extra pylon being built for Parting. That is his third pylon. No, that's his fourth pylon, as there already is an extra pylon over here. So this is just for vision, most likely. What is this fast Stargate for? He really delayed his eco a lot for this Stargate that isn't even that quick, because he was too afraid of it getting scouted. Very odd opener here by Parting. Actually went with a sentry. So he's gonna scout with his... I've seen this build before by him. He scouts with a sentry, pretending like he's not playing Stargate. Initially pretending that he's playing Stargate, but then Terran will realize, oh, it's not Stargate. And then he plays Phoenix Robo behind this, but he'll save the Phoenix at home. So this acts both as a distraction, as a way to scout before the Phoenixes are out. So the goal when you're playing Stargate is to trick your opponent into attacking you with either a Mine Drop or opening Raven. Both of these are very good options for the Protoss player, honestly. So right now, this will get locked onto, and Cure will be like, oh, okay, that's cool. So he's not going to be building a Viking here. That would be really weird. Instead, he's getting a Banshee, and Banshee is not what you want against Phoenix. Let me tell you that much. And they die very quickly, especially without Cloak. It's not too great. And even with Cloak, if there's a Robo, I mean, that's not quite what you want. Parting has decent enough eco. If Parting stops a push coming out of Cure here, which it very much is looking like that's the plan. I think Cure might be in a little bit of trouble. We do have a Cyclone and Marine on the map. How many Phoenixes is he actually going to save up? There's 4 Phoenixes. No, 3 Phoenixes out right now. 4th Phoenix is on the way. No third base yet either. This is just going to be a Marine tank push. Marine tank Banshee. Without Cloak. Oh. Cure. He's gonna get a shock of a lifetime when he flies into 5 Phoenixes. It is possible, of course, that these Phoenixes will end up missing the Banshee, and the Banshee actually gets to do some damage. Is there a recall available? There's no recall currently available. Oh! Parting is too smart for this, though. Parting is too smart. Takes the bottom side, sees the Banshee, kills the Banshee. Robotics Bay is on the way, and right now Cure is feeling a little bit less good about this push out. We have a sentry, couple of stalkers over here as well. Observer is missing the move out, which will suck, but even if Parting can't hold this ramp, I mean, he still has a lot of wiggle room, right? He can hold this ramp with sentries. There's no third base yet for him. He could also expand to the forward base. 7 workers have gone down right now for Cure, who is actually extremely all in with this. Yeah, PartinG's like, alright, I don't want that. Might actually start with a Disruptor here, so Disruptor Phoenix, or could be starting getting an Immortal. A couple of batteries are going down. Phoenix is being used to cut off reinforcements rather than to use them in the fight or something like that. Cybercore being rebuilt immediately. Extra turrets are being thrown down. Bad force field could have probably caught 1 or 2 units there. There's no air unit, so high ground vision is going to be impossible. That's interesting because that actually means that he could be attacking him from the high ground, and he's gonna need to. Cure needs to use scans in that case. I don't really see this work honestly here for Cure. Battery or Disruptor is on the way. I'd love to see a third base, but there's no extra barrack, so there's really no use in getting that faster third base at this point. Here comes the Disruptor from the high ground. It's gonna kill absolutely everything. No, gets a couple of Marines. Marines now manage to get onto the high ground. I'd love to see a force field here. Just jump on the Marines. Giving away the high ground I think is a big mistake here for PartinG. Will be able to get a lot of them. Is not using the Phoenixes for some reason. I think could be used definitely to get this Cyclone at least. Viking now does show up. Will start helping out immediately. Disruptor has another shot available, not being used as of yet. Once again, high ground vision is being denied. Second Disruptor joins the fray. What is there really here for Cure still? Honestly, not that much. He's also floating 400 minerals. Will throw down a command center. No extra barracks. You can say dot dot all you want here, but this is really your own doing. Playing such an aggressive push. Just blindly trusting that it is going to be a non-Stargate build. Even though PartinG has shown this exact build order many times before. He used to play it a lot on Eternal Empire. I think he did it once in the GSL on Eternal Empire as well. Should be careful here with those Stalkers taking extra damage from the tanks, of course. But third base is on the way right now. We see Stim being researched. There is some high ground vision, but all the tanks have gone and died. And I honestly do believe this is going to be pretty much it for Cure. I mean, what can he really do? He's still staying in the game. He's getting a third CC. He has an eBay done, but hasn't researched anything out of it. Not a single upgrade done here for Cure. Going up to 5 barracks. ASAP was floating a lot of money during this push. So should be playing it very passive behind this. And we see PartinG actually going into a Twilight Council. I'd love to see a Forge. He does have 3 Disruptors already, but Disruptors don't do too well aggressively against tanks. Phoenix is however doing an absolutely fantastic job here. Killing the Vikings, killing the Marines, now lifting a tank. Oh. Another Phoenix does end up falling, but so will this Viking. And so do the extra Marines. Cyclone on the way will try to help out. Right now this starport is just feeding these Phoenixes with more and more expensive units basically. I'd love to see a forward base on the gold here for PartinG. On both sides would be fine. All he really needs is extra minerals. We'll be going into Colossi, Charge Lot, Thermal Lance. No Forge yet. So he's going to be looking to do a push here. I can't blame the guy. Right, he's so far ahead. What units are there here? 5 Marines, 1 Marauder, 1 tank. 2 Vikings are about to pop out. There's only 3 Phoenixes remaining, but yeah, forward base on the way for PartinG. Well, Cure doesn't even have his third landed yet. We'll be able to deny the walk up the ramp immediately, but I mean, once these buildings fall, you can have a single lift on this tank with these Disruptor shots. This should be good enough for PartinG. Might wait for plus for the charge and for the thermal lens, the single Colossi. There's no more tanks on the way. Combat shield has just started, but I'm not too sure about this. I'm really not too sure about this. 59 workers for Cure, who is doing a decent job getting back into it. Not sure if it's going to be enough though. He's still down 30 supply. His upgrades are doing quite well. His +1's about to finish up. I mean, this map is pretty easy to defend on usually, but because PartinG is playing the bottom side as well, you can just attack into this third base. So sure, you're saving your natural, but there's no wall at your third. I mean, there's combat shield is about to finish up, will be in time, but PartinG is about to push out. No. Cure decides to push out. That makes no sense. I feel like all he can really do is be passive at this point. He sees PartinG's army and he agrees with me. He's like, oh, never mind. Just going back home, I guess. Does a scan on top of his own army, sees the observer. Love to see some improvised walling of some sort. Tank being moved to the high ground. Everything being moved to the high ground. Is he gonna lift? Wait, what is he doing? Huh? A complete misread of unit movement. Just send one marine out of here on an SCV to just check. Oh, one medevac falling for free. There's still... Where's the tank? The tank is way too far back. I mean, with the disruptors, you should be able to just clear these mines really easily. Instead, decides to give up a zealot here and there and use the disruptors for the main army, which is going to be fine. If good disruptor shots coming out will hit some of his own zealots. There's just too much stuff here for PartinG, even without Guardian Shield, even without upgrades. Just the pure numbers, sheer numbers will be enough here, as he will take this series. GG gets called and Cure loses the series to the one while PartinG wins it with some interesting strategic decisions. I really like the sentry with the fast Stargate. Really managed to trick out Cure there. So cool stuff indeed. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and see you all next time. Bye bye.